out of my system. Woo, 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 woo. And now, back to this. No, wait, I think I'll be... I expect to be really touched. Today's episode. How are you doing? Well, welcome. So, something strange really happened. I uploaded my last IGTV video about base 23 and the Sondheim things, and they sort of got flagged. I don't know, because there's nothing dirty in it. So a friend said to me, what have you uploaded here? Because I can't see anything. So I'm not sure. Do you know? Can you watch the video and tell me? Because I can't understand anything. I mean, there's no music in it. I don't know. Someone may have flagged it just because. So anyway, I'm on my way to work to do some laundry and ironing, all that I had to do every week. And after that, I'm going to the opening night of the Belfast Girls with Scenkonst Batalj. Looking forward to this one. Yes! Okay, you people who like Så som i himmelen, can you guess whose top this is? Can you? Can you really guess whose top this is? It's almost 7:30. 6:30. God. 7:30. 6:30. So I am leaving the theatre in a couple of minutes, and I'm going to go to an opening night. Woo, woo, woo. I think this will be sort of a really dramatic and not, it's not woo, woo, that kind of show. So I might as well get it out of my system. Woo, 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 woo. And now, back to this. No, wait, I think I expect to be really touched. People, how about some fascinating theatre? It's getting to be really cold. It's not really, really cold, but it's cold. It's sort of almost freezing. The freezing point, I think. I don't know. And I am on söder, which is that means south. So I'm on one of the I think the largest island in Stockholm, except the mainland, of course. And it's it has a reputation for being a little bohemian, working class. It's not anymore. It's really sort of posh and fancy. And I am going to the theatre over there. It's called Teater 3. And that's usually I think they usually play children's theatre. But not today, because we are going to see an Irish play about women who were forced, I think, to go to Australia. It's quite a small foyer and it's crammed with people. So I'm quite hot, so I'm standing outside now, because I really don't want to rub my body against anyone else. It's intermission. I kind of like it. I have some objections to the set design, because it's sort of, I have this image of that it should be really cramped, and it's not. It's quite spacious. They're supposed to be on this ship, and it's quite spacious, and I have some thoughts about the direction as well. The acting is good. Costumes are great. The set design is sort of, except the spacing. The direction is sort of, doesn't seem quite real. Some of them are acting really real, and I don't know. It's like the situation isn't quite real. So let's talk about the show. I wasn't crazy about it. There was some good acting and some good acting, some good costumes. I liked the set design, although I didn't like the spacing of it. I'm not quite sure why they did it. What spoke to an audience, because it was about Irish potato famine and people who, certain women who were sort of put on boats to go to Australia, mostly prostitutes. Sort of, it was for Ireland to get rid of the prostitutes, and they thought they were going to a new world, to great opportunities, but they didn't. So the story in itself is interesting, but it felt kind of like, So I think the direction should have been sort of more, I don't know, naturalistic. To sort of, there should be a claustrophobic feel to this. And it was, I think the script was more or less like a movie script. It's sort of like, there's certain secrets that have to come out, and then they sort of said, in the end they said, one woman said, well, for these 3 months or whatever it was, I was master of my own life, as opposed to being sort of run by men. And were they? I mean, they might as well have been in prison. So it's really, I don't know, and in that time they were sort of, when they lynched one woman, and I mean, it's not, I thought it was quite a weird choice of play to put on, and it was directed kind of like, this might have been more interesting and more telling of today. And there were some things that sort of irritated me regarding language. So you had one woman who was from the south of Sweden, so she spoke that dialect, and all the others sort of spoke like the King's Swedish, I guess, like in Stockholm. And I thought first that this might be some sort of way to separate her, but it turned out that I think that's the way she spoke as an actress. So it was kind of, they were supposed to come from Ireland, from Belfast, and it's kind of weird when you have someone from speaking that strong Swedish dialect. Not that she was a bad actress or anything like that, but I wish that they sort of, and then they had some people that sort of like, yes, I think some were kind of hard to hear because they couldn't project their voices, or they couldn't they weren't, I don't know, it just sounded like they read their lines, and this should be lower class people and working class, no, worse than that, I guess. So they should have been sort of like, they shouldn't have been They should have spoken not so well as they did. So I don't think, yes, the direction and the play, and it was 2 acts, and I think they could sort of have it 1 act, because it was kind of long and it wasn't that much. There were sort of slow things in between, and they didn't deserve to do those sort of like, they were doing head movement and stuff like that just as a thing to make it more interesting when it's really a naturalistic sort of play. I don't know why they did that. And it wasn't sort of like, oh, this is interesting. It was more like, okay, I get it. Yeah, so that's it. But good acting in some parts. So what I take away is that am I supposed to feel enraged by women getting ill-treated in the 1850s, 1860s? I don't know. It doesn't... It felt very isolated and very sort of, this happened then. So much more worse things have happened that this felt like, yes, those 4, because I think there were about 4,000 women that this happened to. It's like those poor 4,000 women, and I really don't feel that way. I mean, there are other women that have suffered. It's kind of weird. It's like sort of like, I don't know. I just keep talking. I think one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way, or sort of set me off on the wrong trail, is it started with sort of someone saying in 1858 4,000 women were put on ships. They were lured on ships to Australia from Ireland, and they sort of they were prostitutes and they ended up prostitutes. No, they didn't say that, but I mean, they sort of, they were duped. And that sort of made it, it's like they tried to sort of give it honour, value and stuff, instead of just telling the story and make me feel sort of like, oh, poor girls, or whatever. But now I feel like this is an outrage. And I mean, in the 1850s, what wasn't an outrage? Night, people.